Where are you going? Where are you going? We're pretty level as is, but I think we could get a little bit more level. Howdy folks, welcome back to another video. We are out for a quick, short, one-night trip of camping. I'm actually going to be leaving to Thailand in the next couple days, which I'm really excited about. Doing a little leisure trip with my family. We'll be spending a couple weeks in Thailand, and I'm extremely excited for that. But I needed to film a video because I don't want to leave you guys hanging while I'm in Thailand. So we're just out here for the night, and I got some pretty yummy food planned. And it's just nice to get out and enjoy the cabin after spending all of last week working hard on that project. If you didn't see that video, I basically rebuilt the roof on the cabin. So if you're interested in seeing that, feel free to go check it out. But yeah, should be a nice, chill, relaxing night. So we're currently in the Tillamook National Forest, which is in the coastal range in Oregon. And this has got to be one of my favorite national forests in all of Oregon. And the best part is this is like so close to me. I'm literally about 45 minutes away from home right now, which is amazing. There's spots in this national forest that are even closer. So it's so cool having such pristine wilderness so close by. One of my favorite things about living where I do is just the proximity to beautiful locations like this. Got kind of a late start on the day, so we don't really have time to do too much adventuring per se. Just on a little bit of a stroll right now before we head back to the camp, get a campfire going. Hopefully get the campfire going before it gets dark. That would be ideal. We're just getting into the time of year where it's finally starting to get dark quite a bit later. I think at the shortest time of year, it was getting dark around 4:30, which is crazy. Now, it doesn't get like dark until about 6 p.m. The sun, I believe, sets around 5:40 or so, and then it gets dark at like 6. So it's still pretty early, but we're getting there. The days are getting longer, and we're inching our way closer to spring and summer. Check it out, y'all. On my way over here, off the highway, there was like a little stand where they were selling firewood. And you get this great big giant bundle of like really nice hard firewood and a bundle of kindling. All of this for 10 bucks. Total steal. I love finding little, you know, private run firewood operations because the stuff you buy at the store is just terrible. It always burns so fast and you barely get any. So this, not only are you supporting a good cause by buying from a small business, but it's also just a much better deal. I honestly have a cheat code for starting fires. Don't even really need kindling, but it's a nice thought, you know? I cannot believe that we're already almost through February. This new year is really racing by. Speaking of the new year, I've been thinking a lot lately about resolutions and striving to be a better person. And I realized that real change doesn't mean becoming an entirely new person, but rather consistent, steady habits that compound over time and lead to internal growth. One habit that I've actually been sticking with this year so far has been running. Now, of course, I love to be active and to be healthy, but running is also great for my mental health as well. There's just something about getting out there that really clears my head and it always leaves me in a good mood. Another habit that's great for your mental health is therapy. Now, it's kind of like we were talking about earlier, where it's not a quick, easy fix, but it's instead something that is steady and consistent and that over time leads to personal growth. BetterHelp, who happens to be the sponsor of this portion of today's video, is a simple, easy way to get started with therapy. All you gotta do is fill out a quick questionnaire and you'll get matched with a therapist in as little as a few days. It's also very easy to switch therapists at any time for no extra cost if it ends up not being quite the right match. Head to betterhelp.com/Yench for 10% off of your first month of therapy. Thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the video. Now, let's get back to it. Check it out. There's this random pile of pallets here. Classic Oregon, unfortunately, but I'm gonna utilize one of these pallets because I don't exactly have a dog bed, or at least like a camping dog bed for Kaya. So I do have something that I could use along with this to keep her elevated and off the ground. Look at that. Now that is camping luxury. I could use this. I could sleep on this if I had to. Be a pretty uncomfortable night of sleep, but I could do it. If this doesn't get her to hang out with me by the campfire, I don't know what will. Cheers, y'all. Check it out, guys. Oh, I spoke too soon. I totally jinxed it. She was chilling there for a little bit, and then she got camera shy. Go ahead. It's not too cold in here at all, but let's take the edge off a little bit. Might as well. We got this heater. Put it to use, right? 46 degrees in here, according to the thermostat. Let's crank it up to 66. All right, folks, we are in the cabin for the night. Nice and cozy in here, as per usual. It'll get even more cozier in here as it starts to heat up with the diesel heater. But what do you say that we get some dinner going, because I am freaking hungry. Kaya's ready for me to get started cooking too, so she could scavenge some pieces here and there, huh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I'm not the biggest fast food person in general, but I would be lying to you if I said that while I was out on road trips, especially on long travel days, I didn't swing by Taco Bell every now and again. And while I'm at Taco Bell, one of my favorite things to get there is the Crunchwrap Supreme. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but it's pretty dang good. I will say over the years, like most things, it's kind of gotten not as good. They don't put nearly as much meat. They fill it with a lot more lettuce, in my opinion. But regardless, it's a pretty solid. It's a pretty solid dish at Taco Bell. So I don't know why I got a random idea to make Crunchwrap Supremes tonight, but once the seed of possibility was planted, it really took sprout. So that's what we'll be having tonight. All that to say, I'm gonna be making a Crunchwrap Supreme. So we'll see how this goes. I've never actually made one myself before, but I think we're gonna do a good job. Your first tax. So one thing about this recipe that I found pretty appealing is that it's quite simple. There's not a whole lot of ingredients and everything seems very straightforward. We got ground beef, some nacho cheese, sour cream, tomato, lettuce, tostadas. This is one of the signature ingredients in a crunch wrap. I don't know if I said shredded cheese, but we got shredded cheese, some spices for the beef. I believe this is paprika, cumin, and chili powder. It's probably pretty similar to like a taco seasoning packet, I would imagine. And here we go. These are the star of the show. Now, for the longest time, I always questioned why they did not have proper burrito-sized tortillas at the grocery store. It was like large tortillas, extra large tortillas, but they were still, you know, they were like, you could barely make a taco with them. So when I saw these at the grocery store, these giant, beautiful tortillas, I thought, wow, the burrito gods have heard my prayers and they have granted me my biggest wish. All right, the first step is gonna be to cook up the beef. Ground beef is going in. She's splattering hot oil. Take that off for a second. All right, now we're gonna season up the beef with some salt. Nice generous portion of salt, of course. It's a whole pound of beef, guys. We got pepper. And of course we also got that homemade taco seasoning. Paprika, cumin, chili powder. While the taco meat finishes off, I'm just gonna quickly dice up a tomato here. Oh man, I need to sharpen this knife. It's kind of hard to dice a tomato when your knife is so dull. We'll use a new wooden spoon here to not put any raw beef juices. Anyways, this looks like that's done, so I'm just gonna turn that off. I don't think I've ever bought nacho cheese in a can like this before, but that looks pretty good. Kind of wish that I would have got some like tortilla chips to snack on. So we will get one tostada out and ready. I never really realized this part, but when I saw the recipe, it clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So you basically need a one tortilla, and you're gonna cut out a soft tortilla in roughly the same size as this tostada. Can't really see where I started my cut. That should be good. One last little section there. There we go. All right. So we've got basically a tortilla that's a taco size, like a street taco, and we have a tostada here. Next, we're gonna take another full-size tortilla here, and we're gonna put a good portion of that ground beef. And as you could see, I left a nice border around the beef because we'll be folding that over. Next, I'm gonna put some of this nacho cheese all over the top. On goes the tostada. We're gonna spread some sour cream. Next, we've got a little bit of lettuce, a little bit of tomato. Lastly, we'll put a nice healthy amount of shredded Mexican blend cheese. Lastly, we'll take that cut out piece of tortilla and place it right on the top. And now comes the slightly tricky part, I imagine. You gotta fold it over. You know what? Having this giant tortilla makes this not tricky at all. I was wrong. So we fold that over like that. And now, oop. Turn that over. And now that's ready to go back on the stove. Kind of messed up. I left it on this side a little bit too long, but I think it looks pretty good still. We got a little bit of character on this side, you know? Just a wee bit of char. This looks good, and like I said, it was actually really easy. It took like maybe 15-20 minutes, and that was filming. You know, I imagine at home you could whip this up 10 minutes or so. Crunchwrap Supreme. Unfortunately, I totally forgot. I was going to swing by Taco Bell and pick up some of their sauce packets to go, but it slipped my mind while I was on my way out here. So instead, we've got this, which is like a creamy Cholula, and it's actually really tasty. It's a chipotle, creamy chipotle Cholula. Good stuff. Cheers. Mmm. Mmm. Oh yeah. That is a freaking Crunchwrap Supreme. It's definitely better than a Taco Bell Crunchwrap. It has a more fresh, gourmet flavor. Obviously, we used all fresh ingredients. And just look at the quantity of ingredients. This is a lot heftier than the kind that you get at Taco Bell, but that one's also only a few bucks at a fast food restaurant. So you can't expect too much. But this one was well worth the effort. That's delicious. So you guys will be happy to hear that after my last video, when I finished the roof rebuild project, we got a few days of some pretty heavy rain. And I came in here while it was raining and afterwards, and absolutely no signs of leaks in the roof at all, which was a huge relief after putting in all that effort to rebuild the roof. I guess the real test will be while I'm away in Thailand for 2 weeks. The camper is just going to be sitting out. You know, it's probably going to rain on and off. I don't exactly know. So we'll see what things are looking like when I come back from Thailand. Knock on wood. I would highly recommend you folks at home try this one out. It's really easy and it is super, super tasty. Oh, all right. Here you go. Thanks for being a good sport, old sport. A good sport, old sport. Almost forgot the butter. I've never made these before, so this was an experiment. Seemed like it might be a little too hot. Oh yeah, this one's a little burnt. Oh man. We might be able to salvage some of the middle there. Let's see what this one's looking like. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Okay. Yo, that one looks pretty good. Not too burnt. We got a little burnt sides on the corners there, but that's because, you know, when sugar gets heated up, it caramelizes. So I'm guessing all the blackened burned parts are just the sugar caramelizing. Those coals are really hot, so it was a little questionable to put it right on the coals, but oh well. some of that cream cheese icing that came with the cinnamon rolls. We are not holding back tonight, y'all. I'm gonna be away for a couple weeks, away from camping, so I gotta go all out tonight, right? This is the first time I ever made this campfire monkey bread, and it looks pretty delicious. Let's hope that it cooked through. I think it's cooked through. Oh yeah. I know, it's not good for her. It's just a little piece. It's just a little piece. That's all. Check it out. That was a gluttonous night of eating, but it was well worth it. Very enjoyable food, and now I'm just gonna take it easy, watch a movie, and hang out for the rest of the night.
Now you'll see what real work entails.
Woo! Good morning, folks. It's a very pretty morning today. It's a little bit foggy, a little bit chilly, just the way I like it. Had a really good night of sleep, as I always do in the cabin. I literally slept like a baby, didn't wake up a single time. Kaya's out wandering around, sniffing. Had to make up for that gnarly crunch wrap and the monkey bread. Catch you guys in the next one.